Welcome to Study Abroad South Africa, Office of International Education. We depart JFK Airport on January 2nd and arrive in Johannesburg, South Africa on January 3rd. From the airport, we grab food and stop in the grocery store before heading to our accommodations. For a brief moment, we thought we were on Eastern Parkway at the West Indian Parade. We arrive at our hotel and the journey begins the next day. We decide to tour Mandela Square and do a little shopping. Much to the students' surprise, the mall was extremely expensive. The visit achieved the objective I hoped for, and that is, Africa is not a desolate place devoid of affluence as portrayed in the Western media. The visit also served as a nice photo op and bonding experience. Then off to the Apartheid Museum. The students were very surprised to discover how similar apartheid was to the experiences of the civil rights movement and its efforts to deprive blacks of their rights. The students observed that apartheid seemed more brutal than Jim Crow. We took in a safari the next day, and we saw a couple of the Big Five. We had a close encounter with an elephant, and Medgar Evers' motto of courage, strength, and fortitude was on full display.
Scaring him.
Oh, that's coming.
Our next adventure, we stopped by a memorial to some of the fallen freedom fighters and toured the museum to get an understanding of their struggle. And then the next day, we visit the Mbezawini daycare, located in an informal settlement. It was heartbreaking to see the children pursuing their education and not have clean water, a sewage system, no electricity, and scarce educational resources. Yet, after visiting with the students and interviewing a few, we were so inspired by them that we donated $250, which equates to 3,500 South African dollars.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
What is your name?
My name is Almania. My name is Almania. And mine is Volkos.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you guys value education so much?
We value education so much because it can bring us a brighter life.
And why do you value education?
So that my life can be better and
Good. Now, I know that sometimes it can be a bit challenging, right? What are some day-to-day struggles that you face?
Yeah, I struggled in my favorite subjects in NST, Natural Sciences and Technology. I struggled when we were talking about technology because I didn't understand it too well. Because in the foundation phase, they didn't teach us. But then I got it, and I was the best one in class, but I was the youngest.
Right. So there are a lack of resources, and if you feel like if you had more resources, that you'd be able to grasp these much easier and quicker.
Yeah, there were times that I can feel like that, but I could know that you can't have everything in life, but you can have things that can support you to do the thing that you want.
Right. And what do you want to be when you get older? What do you aspire to be?
When I get older, I don't already know, but I wished to be a pilot.
A pilot?
Yeah, and I wished to be a technological. I wish to be a technological and a scientist.
What about you?
I want to be a doctor or an actor.
Okay. That is wonderful. That is beautiful. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to speak with us and having us. Thank you.
We then decide to take in an arts and cultural tour at Lesedi Village. a very spirited introduction to Zulu culture. We wrapped up our visit to Johannesburg, and the students felt that Johannesburg was very African as they visited Soweto, Nelson Mandela's home in Soweto, and learning about the uprisings in Soweto and the history of the African National Congress and the Pan-African Congress. We visited Pretoria, which is 45 minutes from Johannesburg. The President of the Republic of South Africa residence is located there in Pretoria. The scenery is amazing. Then it was off to Durban, the home of the great South African King Shaka Zulu. We landed safely at King Shaka International Airport. In Durban, we visited a memorial to Gandhi and Mandela, as well as visit the school where Nelson Mandela cast his first vote in South Africa. The students received lectures about Gandhi and the fight to gain enfranchisement for black South Africans. The next day, we toured the campus of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. They are doing amazing research, and we met to explore collaboration and engagement. The students were amazed at the campus and the research being conducted by the faculty and students. We wrap up our time in Durban and head to Cape Town. We check into our dorms at the University of the Western Cape. The University of the Western Cape is the only school that black South Africans could matriculate during apartheid. We then explore Cape Town. Cape Town is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. After taking in the scenery briefly, we visit the Langa Township, the first planned black township in South Africa. Langa has lots of amazing street art and a robust social entrepreneurship center. Our students received an overview of the entrepreneur efforts underway in Langa. And on Martin Luther King's birthday, we decided to devote a day of service in South Africa. On this day, we visit Sister Incorporated, a domestic violence shelter. South Africa has an extremely and shameful high rate of domestic abuse. Mega Everett students received a lecture about what the center does and had a breakout and question session. After the session was over, our female students gave the ladies at the shelter a makeover, and our male students read to the children. The next day, we see public and comparative public administration up close and in action. Our students visit the national and provincial parliament in Cape Town. They learn the basics of South African governance and juxtapose the system to our democracy and debate and discuss which is better. From there, we visit the District 6 Museum in Cape Town. The museum is the former inner city residential area that has been memorialized to showcase the forced movement of about 60,000 inhabitants of various races. The students participate in a series of lectures that were delivered by the Honorable Nobulumka